at the beginning of the year, I thought my role was more of doing as much as possible so that the state doesn't come in to look at our staff so they can do what they need to do. However, that's kind of changed as I've grown this year, where it's more of just meeting the students' needs before all else. So
Hmm.
even if I have to meet with the state, which I've done a couple times this year because of our high numbers, just taking it in stride because I know what we're doing is right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and my guest today is Caitlyn Reames. Caitlyn is the special education coordinator at the James and Grace Lee Boggs School, and they are located in Detroit, Michigan. Caitlyn, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited for this.
Awesome. So tell everybody a little bit about your background and your role, and maybe a little bit about Bog School as well.
Yeah. So, this is actually my first year in an admin position. Um,
Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. I actually graduated last weekend. Well, I graduated April 25th, from Grand Valley State University.
Oh,
So
that's so funny. One of our guys that we just hired, he's a recruiter for us. He's my son's roommate, just graduated from there as well last weekend.
really,
Oh, how funny.
oh my
Well,
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a big
Busy.
weekend.
Yeah.
A lot.
Congratulations. Oh,
Thank
oh,
you.
what a great connection. I love that so much.
Yeah. So that was great. But I've been pretty much in education my entire life. My mom was a special ed court administrator before me.
Nice.
So I knew how to write an IEP when I was 11.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then my dad was a home health nurse, so
Oh, wow.
I was kind of like
My
surrounded on all
mom did
sides.
that. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
really?
Well, yeah, she was. So what amazing connections we have.
Right?
Amazing. That's
I
so
love
cool.
that.
Anyway.
So why I started out as a one-on-one para for a student that had autism,
Hmm.
and I moved to a different at my home district where I grew up in, and then I kind of moved. I'm originally from Ohio, so I moved to Columbus,
Hmm.
and I was a para for about 6 years there. And I graduated for Ohio Dominican University there. I taught for 1 year in Toledo, Ohio, and then I taught for 1 year in Hamtramck. And I was previously I was at a different charter school for about 5 years, and then this year's my first year at the James and Grace Lee Boggs School.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very, very nice.
and I love it so much.
Yeah. That's great. Tell us about Boggs. What's going on there? Tell me about is it a charter school? Is it
It,
a yeah.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
charter school. But what's really cool, so it's called the James and Grace Lee Boggs School. It's named after James and Grace Lee Boggs. And they were advocates, philosophers, so many great moments of Detroit history is with them. Um, Grace Lee kind of inspired our founders, which two of them are two of them, one is our executive officer and one is our principal. And they were inspired by Grace Lee and her philosophy and teachings. And one of the big thing is community and like working together. We're in our community, we're learning about our community, and that kind of goes hand in hand with our place-based learning. So we do a lot of our teaching about where we live.
Hmm.
And so we just got through using the place-based learning organization helped us create a whole new social studies and science curriculum that's Detroit and Michigan based. So our kids are learning about the water cycle with flooding that happens in Detroit and how can we critically think about how to support that. Um, so our mission is to create critical thinkers for our community. And
Nice.
I I love Boggs so much because yes, we're concerned about we're academics for sure,
Yeah. Oh.
but there's so much more to teaching the whole child, right?
Hmm.
And
They're not
community
just test scores, right?
they're not.
They're
And
not.
it's actually like I had to have a bunch of conversations with parents this month because it's testing month
Hmm.
and they're like, why do we even have to do it? And I said, honestly, it's for the state.
Right.
But for us, it's more important that when they leave Boggs, that they are critical thinkers that want to be solutionaries in their community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in we have like a full-time mental health specialist, we have a full-time social worker, which is really unheard of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we found that that's super important. We have a community resource um, officer, so like anything our family might need, we try to wrap around support. Um, just and you like we do a lot of restorative practices as well. That's our big thing. So um, other places I've worked at, I've had so much put down on the teachers about rigid academics, and
Mm-hmm.
then the child's emotional and mental and physical health is kind of
Secondary.
afterthought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Mm-hmm.
here it's at the forefront. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things I really love about Boggs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the great things that also is as a staff, we do restorative circles as well. So
Ah, yeah. It's not just about the kids,
it's
really.
not,
Yeah.
it is
That's
so,
amazing. Yeah, I love that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's, I've had a lot of PTSD, I'll be honest, from other places I've worked at,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of unraveling with working
Mm-hmm.
here. And
Nice.
I'm very grateful for being able to be here.
Well, congratulations. I love that. So
Thank you.
is Boggs K-12? I
It's K
wasn't
through
sure.
8
K through
right
8 right now. Okay. Mm-hmm.
now. Um, only one, so we're pretty small. We have one class per grade level.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Um,
So you have smaller count numbers, student counts too, right?
yeah,
Or class size, I guess is yeah,
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. And you do the special education coordination for
Yes,
all of that?
I do. So we
Okay.
right now we're at 21% of our students qualify for um, special services.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the beginning of the year, we didn't have an elementary resource room teacher. So I kind of did double duty for a while.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
But luckily, we found someone who's amazing, Miss Andy. And then I have a middle school resource room teacher, Mr. Jamie, and then a host of service providers. But luckily, now that I I've gone through and got my master's in admin, I'm taking on more of a leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my goal is to be able to help, and I've been able to do it slowly now that we've had both of our resource um, teachings filled.
Teachers. Mm-hmm.
Um, but going into the classroom, helping them accommodate, helping them modify,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of general ed teachers only get maybe one semester on how to work with students with special needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just don't know. They want to know. They want to help the
Right.
students as best as possible. They just need support in that. So
Right.
that's what I'm really excited about being able to do more of.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the kids win. The kids win
Yeah.
when you
Yes.
can make the accommodation so that they can, that's the whole point, right? Access to education, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just it's what we do. It's what we do, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm a speech therapist of 31 years. So a couple
There you
times I've
go.
done that.
Yeah. And it's really
So
cool because a lot of parents are asking asking to, how can we carry this over in home? So it's a
hmm
whole team effort and
hmm
I'm loving it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's the model, right? Is everybody, and, when we always tell schools when Lighthouse comes in because we contract with schools, we consider our therapists a part of your team. That's
Hmm.
the whole point. The whole point of an IEP team is to be a team, parents and student and teachers and administration and therapists. It's a team. So it's really important that you take that mindset going in. So I love that you guys are doing that. That's fantastic. Um, so what would you say is probably one of your biggest challenges right now?
So one of the biggest there's a two right now.
Mm-hmm.
One which we've been able to manage okay is finding qualified teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a hard game out there.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
it feels like it's, as a very small school, we can't offer the salaries that other schools can.
Mm-hmm.
But people want to come here because they're here for the vision and the mission of
Mm-hmm.
the school, which um, is is more important to me than if you don't know how to do an IEP, we can teach you how to make, how to write an IEP. But if you have a
Right.
passion that's connected to the school and to the students, that's great. It's just also trying to get those people in.
Hmm.
Um, so that's one of our big issues. We're starting to, do interviews for next year
Right.
and
Yeah.
get things ready. But it's hard, living is expensive, but
Hmm.
and we just gotta. So it's a double-edged sword there. Like we want to be able to have qualified teachers, and we want to be able to promote our values.
Hmm.
So they got to fit both of those, and
Right.
sometimes just life is too much for some. Like expenses are too much for someone on the salary, and we get that.
Hmm.
Um, but that's one of our biggest ones. Our
Hmm.
second one is the state and the
Yeah.
government, because we have such a high population of students with special needs,
Hmm.
we get looked at pretty heavily.
Hmm.
Um, we have 5% of our students on modified curriculum instead of the
Uh-huh.
1%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. When you said 21%, I was like, yeah, yeah, but it's not that unusual. I mean, now it used to be 13% was unheard of, and now,
now it's
13% is average,
like,
right? It's
woo,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
I so we have to play the game of doing what we need to do legally,
Hmm.
doing what we want to do solutionary wise and being
Hmm.
vision, trying to
Hmm.
change things educationally
Hmm.
and also meeting the students' needs. So there's,
Right.
all these perspectives we're trying to bring in, which I feel like at the beginning of the year, I thought my role was more of doing as much as possible so that the state doesn't come in to look at our staff so they can do what they need to do. Um, However, that's kind of changed as I've grown this year, where it's more of just meeting the students' needs before all else. So
Hmm.
even if I have to meet with the state, which I've done a couple times this year because of our high numbers,
Hmm.
um, just taking it in stride because I know what we're doing is right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's that initial, there's always that fear initially because they have power. I mean, they really do have power.
Yep.
But once you realize that they're not ogres,
Right.
the big bad wolf isn't going to come and eat you up, right? It makes it a little bit easier, I think. And I think too, I think that everybody's trying to do what's best for the kids,
Yeah.
Just,
And if you can
yeah.
explain it too, and it's not, and it's so many people do love bogs, and
Hmm.
we have families that come here over and over again,
Hmm.
um, and then they have word of mouth, and so we're going to get lots of people in,
Yeah.
especially where they felt um, their students' needs aren't getting met elsewhere, so they're going to come here, um, or for the community part. So yeah, I think if we can explain it, why not go for what we can do?
Hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Well, awesome. Okay, so I have one other question, and
Yep.
I just realized I didn't do it on my last podcast. So I said I've only missed it once. I've actually missed it twice yet. But you get this question. If you could miraculously solve one challenge in your school, what
Mm,
would you want to solve?
ooh, that's tricky.
Mm.
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would have to. There's so all of our teachers are so willing to learn,
Hmm.
and it's just there's not financially and physically, there's just not a lot of opportunities for that. Um, so I wish if I could change that, I would be able to let them have as much professional development in where they want to learn without having to find a sub, without having to
Yeah.
pay for it, without having like as much as they want, because
Right.
the more they learn, the more they can, so they're filling up their cup so that they
Hmm.
can pour out to their students.
Yeah.
And there's so many opportunities. It's just hard to get
Get it
there
all in.
physically
Yeah,
and
I get
everything.
it. That's a good answer. I love that because you're focused on making sure your teachers are equipped, and it shows. It really shows. That's
Oh,
really great.
thanks. Yeah.
That's really great. All right. Well, Caitlin, Thank you so much for your time. It's been a great conversation. Where should people go if they want to learn more about Caitlyn and what's going on at Bog School?
So yeah, if you look up the James and Grace Lee Boggs School.org, and we have a great website. And also on our Facebook page, the James and Grace Lee Boggs School, it tells what's going on. Like we just had students plant a bunch of trees, and we yesterday there today is actually sorry, it's actually today is a bike and walk to school day, and they're going to do a bike ride around the neighborhood all
Oh,
together.
fun.
So all those little fun things are on our Facebook page as well.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much, Caitlin, for being on the Brighter Together podcast because we really are. We're brighter together. So thanks again.
Thank you.